We met some people standing in a line the other day. A nurse with a new baby, an Army vet, 3 ladies who spent a lifetime working in the same factory. All of them and hundreds more were drawn to the line by hunger. We are about to show you bread lines in America that you may find hard to believe. With the recession, there has been a sudden leap in the number of people on emergency food assistance. The lines we found looked like they'd been taken from the pages of the Great Depression. It's not just the unemployed. We found plenty of people working full-time but still not able to earn enough to keep hunger out of the house. If you think you have a good idea of who's hungry in America today, come join the line. You'd never guess who you'd meet there. This is the head of a food line forming outside Marietta, Ohio. We're going to show you the end, but that will take a while. The people in front came at dawn. Sometimes the food runs out before the line does, so it's best to get in early. They've come with empty boxes and baskets and little red wagons, and if they wait up to 5 hours, they carry away groceries that will last a few days. Lately, the food's been coming once every few weeks, and each time the crowd is getting larger, stretching like the line on a graph marking the recession. This day, a few weeks before Thanksgiving, the line was the longest it's been, through the fairground parking lot, out to the street, and beyond. How many? We counted 896. One line from 1,000 walks of life. Why do you have to come here?
Because my husband really doesn't make enough for all of our groceries.
Is he working full-time?
He works full-time.
Usually, Marslyn Clark and her husband both work, but Marslyn is taking time off now for her newborn, a girl named Autumn.
I'm a nurse and I have a good job, but this is just something that we have to do to get by right now.
You were working at the Goodyear plant.
Worked there 33 years.
33 years?
Yes.
And then Jean Habron and Edna Swires were laid off when the Goodyear plant closed at the end of 1999. You were at the Goodyear plant as well?
Yeah.
You must not have ever imagined that you'd be standing in a food line.
No.
Is the food that you collect here today the difference between eating and not eating?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is for a lot of folks.
Karen Coe's husband, David, served in the Air Force and the Air National Guard for 30 years, but a stroke disabled him while he was on a mission to help flood victims 3 years ago.
He cannot read. He cannot find his engineering degrees. He was blinded. The VA takes care of him on those issues.
But you can't feed him
I can't feed him
unless you come here.
unless I come here. We don't eat.
Robert Lint is a veteran too, a veteran of the Second World War and the Great Depression. Were you waiting in line during the Depression as a boy?
Yeah.
And then you went off and you fought World War II, and now you're still in line.
Still lying. Yeah.
This is going, in my mind, backwards. I mean, we're doing things that we did before food stamps, before we had various programs. And quite frankly, it's a little bit hard to watch sometimes. This is...
Bob Garbo is watching as head of the local affiliate of the nonprofit group America's Second Harvest. The food being distributed in his line comes mostly from government programs and from private donations.
Well, how many are you feeding? 3.
This day, the line grew so long that they brought an extra truck. They hadn't done that before. But since 1999, the number of people getting emergency food aid in Ohio alone has grown from 2 million to 4.5 million. There are a lot of reasons. Housing costs are rising and medical costs. Unemployment is up, and many jobs that are available are minimum wage.
Our jobs are not high-paying jobs. In rural America, most of these jobs folks are getting when they come off public assistance are $6 and $7 an hour jobs with no benefits, by the way.
A lot of these people clearly are working or have been working recently.
Yes, I think so.
Not the stereotype of welfare that's so often.
No. Most of our pantries don't see that anymore. That's not the issue.
The issue is the working poor. 40% of the families in these lines have one parent working. Rick Payne is working full-time in one of those big home improvement stores, but he's supporting a wife and 4 kids on $7.50 an hour. When we sat down with Payne, his wife Alexis, and 12-year-old Brandon, they had $17 to their name. What do you need to buy?
Gas from a vehicle, diapers for my son, milk and bread for at least 3 more days.
What do you do when the refrigerator goes out or the car throws a belt?
I've been worried about the refrigerator for some time, so I was kind of hoping you wouldn't mention the refrigerator going out.
God is great. God is good.
The Paynes get food stamps, $300 a month. That lasts about 3 weeks. But here at the end of the month, they're living on potato soup. The food line forms tomorrow, just in time.
It's funny, I sit and I watch these news programs, and they tell you have 6 months of your income saved. I just have to laugh at that because I can't put $5 away per paycheck. I can't imagine somebody having 6 months of their salary put away. That's just completely unobtainable for us.
Almost half the people fed by these lines are kids. The Agriculture Department figures 1 out of 6 children in America faces hunger. That's more than 12 million kids. Nationwide, children have the highest poverty rate. Preschoolers come here with their parents and play in boxes as empty as the day's want ads. What do you hope to get out of this line today?
Food.
Like what? What do you like to eat? Vegetables. What do you look forward to getting?
Sweets and raisins and good pizzas, and that's it. I like bananas too.
You like the bananas?
Yeah. It broke.
The banana broke?
Yeah.
Crystal Theobald needs food for 2 sons. Her boyfriend, Toby Peterson, recently lost his job as a heavy equipment operator. He gets unemployment, $100 a week. Food stamps come to $200 a month, so they stretch.
We buy the whole milk, I think it's called whole milk. We put half water, half milk, and that makes it stretch.
You put about a gallon of water and a gallon of milk and make that stretch.
That makes it like a long time. Makes milk last longer because the baby right now, he needs milk, so, and he don't know the difference yet.
Most of the people in line don't look like they're starving. We noticed some were even overweight. But hunger in America isn't starvation, it's malnutrition. Children too hungry to concentrate in school, the pain of skipped meals. There may be some in line who are taking unfair advantage of a free food program even if they have to wait for hours. But it's also true that many in these lines are new to hunger. Losing jobs or getting hit with medical bills, for example, just months or weeks ago. We visited another line in MacArthur, Ohio, where the holidays were closing in and so was the weather. This line is about 40% longer than it was just 3 years ago. Nationwide, the problem is not just in rural scenes like this. The U.S. Conference of Mayors says the need for emergency food aid in major cities jumped 19% last year alone. It was here that we met Billie Jo Smith and her children. They're new to hunger. Her husband was the sole breadwinner, but the marriage broke up a few months ago and now the money's gone. The kids are on a free school lunch program, and now 12-year-old Shane brings part of that meal home. What do you save?
Like my pudding and stuff, and sometimes I'll eat a little bit of chips, but then I'll save the rest up for here.
Kind of stretch it out through the day. Shane, Billie Jo, Joey, and Jenny are living on $700 a month in welfare and food stamps.
If they come home from school, I usually don't have anything to eat for them.
But like every kid in America, they come home hungry.
Yes, they do.
When you get home in the afternoon, sometimes there's no food.
Yeah,
Can you help me explain what that's like?
it's terrible. I usually wait till the next day to go to school and eat.
You're not eating between lunches.
No.
I'll tell you in all honesty, I sense a fear. It's a fear. We talk about terror nowadays. Terror is fear. And if you really get to visit with families who are really up against it, there's a fear.
For now, the Paynes are earning a little extra money cleaning up their church.
That's the difference between making it, you know. If we was to lose that portion of our income, it would be good. $65 a week don't sound like a lot of money, but it is.
Brandon, you work on cleaning up the church?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I clean the pews and straighten up the chairs by the Sunday school rooms.
It's good to be able to pitch in.
Yeah.
Well, bottom line is I try and pay Brandon $5 a week to help us at the church. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I owe him 15 now.
There have been 3 weeks recently that you couldn't pay the $5.
And there's been weeks I paid him the $5 and borrowed it from him.
And borrowed it back. Billy Jo Smith is banking on a good education to lift her children out of poverty. The kids are good at math, but still, school is a struggle. Do you ever think that being hungry affects your schoolwork?
Yes, it does. I can't concentrate half the time. Sometimes I'm really weak in class and I fall asleep and stuff.
Crystal Theobald is starting school herself, trying to become a nurse. You'd like to have more children?
Yeah, I'd love to have a little girl.
But you're not going to?
No, I had my tubes tied. It was get your tubes tied or worry about another mouth to feed. So we did it.
And so what do you hope for your family?
Better life, whole milk. Just to be able not to do that once.
Just to be able to not dilute the milk
Yeah.
one time. When you look at this line, what do you see?
I see pain.
You know what I see? Some pretty average-looking Americans.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is Southeast Ohio, buddy. This is it. This is it. And you'll see this pretty well all over the country, probably.
I think a lot of people in this country would be surprised to see this line.
Yes?
Surprised to see a food line in America again.
Oh, yeah. We've gone backwards. This is what I heard from my mom and dad. This is what it was during Depression era, that, you know, people stood in line to get government commodities. Haven't come very far, have we?